Hello, beautiful creatives. It is Mychele with Inner Journey Studios, where I show you how to make fun and easy art journal pages and art projects. Please excuse, my dog has decided she's all excited. Usually she sleeps on the couch in my studio, but I don't know if you can hear her prancing around. We'll see how this goes. She's being a bit of a stinker. Anyway, hello, welcome. I'm so excited to be here for the 31 days of Halloween. I've got my special ears on. I was just at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party last night with my family. We had a blast. This is my favorite ride, Haunted Mansion. Love, love, love it. And I was so inspired by it. Actually, I always love how there's so many spider webs and cobwebs and everything there just cracks me up. I don't know why, probably because I hate dusting. So I'm like, yes, please, fabulous decor. And I thought, how fun would it be today to do some spider webs? Cindy, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for saying hi. And to remind me to tell everybody, if you're watching as you're listening, whether you're live or replay, let me know in the comments. Say hi. Let me know you're here. I love knowing who is with us today. So I am Mychele, as I said, with Inner Journey Studios. And my jam is basically art journaling. I love art journaling. I love doodling. I love exploring art and having fun with it. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a project that I think is super relaxing. I love doing doodling. I love doing things where I can just relax and let my mind go. As far as being an artist goes, what it helps us as artists be able to do is start to free our mind so that we can enjoy our art process more, be able to come up with ideas, and we start to learn to loosen up and relax when we're creating our art. Oh, Teresa, how are you? Thank you for putting this on. Teresa is the mastermind behind the 31 Days of Halloween, and I just love her. She is an all-around super groovy person, and also amazingly generous and collaborative artist. So I'm so excited to know her and to be part of this. I got you sprinkled and love this idea. Yay. So without further ado, I am a talker. I'm just going to tell you that up front. If you don't know me already, I love to chit chat. So feel free to ask me questions. Let me know what you've got going on in the comments. Thank you, Teresa. Did you hear I was there last night? I got to go on the Haunted Mansion. And for Halloween, for their Mickey's Not So Scary party, the people that work the ride, they're always dressed up in the costume anyway, but for the Halloween parties, they do their makeup and they have cobwebs and spiders hanging from them. And they're all in character, like really, really, really in character. And it's just so much fun. Oh my gosh, I had such a great time. Okay. So yes, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. It was great. We got a ton of candy, ate way too much candy, went on all the rides, had a blast. Next year, you need to join us. That's all there is to it, Teresa. Okay, I told you I'm a talker. Let me get down to business here because we're actually here to make art. I forget that sometimes. No, I don't forget that. Let me see here. This is not the view I want. There we go. All right. Thank you for your patience with me while I figure out all the tech behind whatever it is I'm doing here. All right. So what I have going on is I have got my art journal. Hold on just a second. Chloe, come on, baby. Chloe, come on. Come settle down. Come on. Yes, I see you. All right. I'm sorry. We've got a hound dog beagle. She's super sweet. Usually she just relaxes on my couch, but for some reason she's super hyper right now. I would show her to you, but I can't at the moment. So I'm hoping she settles down. Sorry for all the extra noise in the background. Okay, so I am working in my art journal. This is an Arteza one. I just buy these on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. I buy packs of like 3. And then I'll paint the cover after I'm done filling it up. Oh my goodness, Chloe. Yes, I see you. Yes, I see you. Can you guys see her now? There she is. Little stinker. And it's a watercolor paper is what I get. I do a lot of mixed media, so I like the watercolor paper. All right. Whoa. Let me get refocused here between my ears and my dog. I just was like, whoa. So let's get focused back in. All right. If you are somebody that likes to plan things out first, go ahead. You can use a pencil to start this process. I am not going to. I'm going to just go for it and hope for the best. It's kind of how I live my life. So I'm going to do that today. Now, a spider web, I saw a bunch of these type of ideas online. We're going to doodle a spider web. You can do yours round. You can get the protractor out or the compass, is it a protractor? Compass. I think it's a compass. Whatever the thing is in math that you use to make a circle. Clearly math is not my superpower. My husband would be laughing right now if he was home. You can do that and draw a nice circle or put something on to trace around to draw a circle. I'm not going to do that because I don't actually care if mine's round or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by dividing my paper. I'm just going to take it roughly down the center like that. I'm right now personally using a black Uniball Vision. I love these. These are like my go-to. Love these for everything. They work really, really well. Let's see. What are the pink cards you are holding in your Facebook? Oh, thank you, Teresa. No, those were actually cards that we made in Creative Kaleidoscope, which is my paid membership for art journaling. We made those, I think it was 2 years ago. We did a bunch of heart love themed postcards. And then I think that was the year that we sent them to each other within the group. So they were a lot of fun to make. If anybody's interested in making something like that, let me know in the comments and maybe I can do a little tutorial on how I make art postcards. They're so fabulous. They're fun, they're quick, and they're great to send to people. A lot of fun. They could be a business card, Teresa. You could actually make them any size you wanted. Loretta, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so it looks like Teresa's on board for going to Mickey's Not So Scary next year. Let me know who else is coming with us. We'll just have a party at my house. Tara Lynn, how are you? Welcome. Okay, so I'm taking a line roughly down the center, and then I'm going to divide that in half roughly. Okay, not exact roughly. Again, if you want to get more precise, you can. Now, these next two lines I'm going to do, I want them a little shorter than these, okay? So I'm going to bring this maybe roughly here, and I'm going to take it diagonal to go right through the center. Now, you can also, if you're concerned about hitting the center, you can go from here and here. You can use a ruler if you want. That is not how I roll. Like I said, I'm going for the gusto. I'm going to hope for the best, and, you know, it'll be what it'll be, and I'm good with that. Okay. So here is the start of my spider web. Basically, it's a star. I'm starting with a star. Super easy peasy. Let me know if you're following me so far. Give me a thumbs up that this is making sense. We've got one line going down the center, one line going across this way. Let's see, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, diagonal. These two here are a little shorter. Easy peasy. Now, if you know how to do a U or a smiley face, you're going to do great with this next part. We're going to start connecting these spots. Now, if you are more comfortable, you can put dots going down on where you want your lines to connect. Again, I'm not going to. I'm going to just, because I'm not precise like that. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to make basically a big U or a smiley face. So I'm starting at the tip here. I'm coming down, and I'm coming up here. Now I'm going to do the same motion going all the way around from tip to tip. So I start up here, do a little smiley face, dip it down, and then I meet it up back here. Bring it down. Well, I guess we're on the side. Is it still a smiley face if I'm going to the side? I'm going to say it is. And then we're just going to do our dip and bring it back up. And you see, we're just kind of doing this little scallop. Oh, y'all, she settled down. How excited am I? Chloe has settled down. I probably shouldn't say her name. I don't want her to get excited again. All right, you see how easy that is? And we've got the start of our spider web. Now is the time. It's very important to take a sip of your beverage. I've got my sparkling water tonight. I do that because I talk a lot and that just helps me to be able to talk more. Lucky you. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do another layer. So I'm going to come down, I don't know, maybe like a fingertip down roughly. And I'm going to do my smiley face. You see how I put that right underneath the other one? It's like a U, a smiley face. I'm going to come and do the same thing here. If you have any questions on this, let me know. Now I got a little wonky here. I don't care. I'm not going to worry about that because we're going to have so much going on in this with this momentarily that it's not going to matter if there's a little wonkadoodle going on. And then I'm going to bring it down just a little bit and do it again, coming around. Kind of like a scallop shape, smiley face. And again, I'm not really too worried if I get these a little wonky. I'm going to be darkening these lines at some point. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on inside of this, so that's not going to matter. Some of you might do better being more precise than I am, but I'm kind of a quick and easy and get it done kind of person. So sometimes I worry about details, but usually I'm like, we'll figure it out. It'll be good. And all I'm doing is that exact same motion. I'm just bringing it inward. How cool is that? Now we have a spider web. Isn't that fun? And that did not take too long to do. Now what we're going to do is I'll show you my little sketch. If you ever want to know, a lot of artists do stuff like this, but we will do like little sketches in I've got this teeny tiny little sketchbook. I always carry something like this in my wallet. It's, I don't know, like maybe a 3x4 or something. It's a little smaller than, it's probably a 3x5. I don't know. It's about the size, maybe a little smaller of a picture. And I just doodle in here when I get ideas. So this was my idea for this. So you can see kind of what we're doing here. And then on this side, I just doodled ideas on how to fill it in. So what we're doing is we're going to doodle inside of each of these. Now you can doodle in all of them. You can doodle in some of them. You can play around with it. It does not matter. It's all up to you. This is your spider web. I'm doing mine in my art journal because, like I said, I like to do this to relax. This helps to ground me a little bit. It's a nice way to, if I've had a busy day or my brain is going 100 miles an hour, I can do something like this to kind of quiet my brain down, which lets me generate new ideas. And actually, believe it or not, it helps me to focus more. It also helps to come up with new ideas for art. So I love doing this. You can start anywhere in here. I'm going to bounce around. If you want to color this, you could even color this first. You could take some watercolors and slap some watercolor in there. I'm not going to because I want to be able to get doodling to show you the basic of this. And then you can take it and do all kinds of cool stuff with it. You could create this, do a photocopy of it, and use it as coloring pages, which would be really cool. You could take the same basic idea and put it on a canvas to create a really fun and cool piece of art for Halloween to put on your mantle or on your wall or however you decorate for Halloween. You could do this on a canvas tote bag. How cool would that be? Use some fabric markers and create something like that. Oh, that would be so cool on a tote bag, like so many ideas. So I'm just going to start in one here. And I'm going to start by just doing some lines. Feel free to do whatever you want. All right. You do not have to do exactly what I am doing. And I will say the more you do this, the more you start getting ideas that come to you. And pretty soon you can do this without thinking too much. But if you're needing ideas, you can go ahead and once I post the picture of this, you can go ahead and um, take a screenshot of it and use what I'm doing for inspiration. You can also go on Pinterest or Google to get ideas for doodle designs, doodling, stuff like that. You can also get books on it. There's lots of books on doodling if you want to have that for your library. Um, Before everything was crazy on the internet, like you can find anything on the internet now. I think I used to buy a lot of books like this because it was, well, I love books. So let's just be honest. Any excuse to buy a book, I'm there for it. But it also gave me a chance to find design and inspiration ideas. So there's lots of books for doodling, Zen Tangle, Zen Doodle, Doodle. I used to be a henna artist, so a lot of my designs will come from the henna designs that I used to do. There's all different ways to find inspiration. All right. And just like that, we've got one section done. Look at how quick and easy that was. Now, I like to tell my members that are in Creative Kaleidoscope when we do stuff like that, that this is a great thing to do. If you put a couple basic shapes like this in your art journal, and you can do it. I've done pumpkins. I've done, I think, Christmas trees, circles. I'm trying to think what else. I've done all kinds of shapes. Sometimes I'll just block off my paper so there's squares and just do shapes in there, just for doodling. But put a couple of these in your art journal, like in the journal you have, or even if you have a small one like this. And then whenever you have a minute or when you're watching TV, you can sit and you can doodle away. And it's kind of fun because then you already have it ready to go. And you're not having to do the drawing of the base design. All you're doing is doodling within. So this can just be a really great way to occupy your mind, to be able to focus, to come up with new ideas. It also will build your drawing skills in some ways. Now, obviously, doing this is not going to help you learn how to, um, create beautiful landscapes or whatever you're wanting to draw, portraits and all that. But the more you draw, the more you use the skill of creating space, using space, creating design, the better you will also get at drawing in general and the more confident you will get. So even though we're not directly drawing specific items, these kind of activities do help you to learn to draw better overall. Okay, so now this is a nice big piece up here. I'm going to section this off. I could totally also create this as a smaller piece if I wanted. Like I could section it off more, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to just bring some lines in here. And let's see, there we go. Sometimes I have to orient myself and figure out exactly where I am in the design. And it is fun because as you start to get into the design that you're making, it starts to become very relaxing. And it's easy to lose yourself in what you're doing. So I love doing these just to kind of chill out and relax and enjoy my time. while being active because I don't sit still well. I don't know how the rest of you do. Are y'all, can you sit and watch a movie all the way through or a TV show all the way through? Or are you somebody that gets up multiple times during a show? I'm curious because I know I'm not the only one who does not sit still well. My husband used to, I think, get a little frustrated when we first got together because we'd be watching a show and he can sit and watch one the entire time and he's great with that. And I'm like, I try so hard and then I'm like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom or I need to go get a snack or like at some point I've got to get up and go move around. And then poor guy, he was like, "Can we just get through a movie?" He would pause in the whole thing. And now he will pause if it's really action filled, but now he'll sit and narrate. If you've ever put I don't know what it's called. There's an audio narration you can do for where they'll narrate the entire action of everything going on. So my husband does that for me now when I get up to bounce around the house. So I don't miss anything. Cindy says, usually when I turn a movie on, it's when I'm going to bed and fall asleep with it on. Oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. I can't. I am like so wired when I've got the TV on. That's amazing. I've known people who do that. A friend of mine used to do that back in college. She would turn the TV on and she'd be out. Like in a minute, she'd be just out. That's amazing that you can do that way. I think my husband probably wishes I did that sometimes. All right, so we are just going away. Now, this is where it's nice if you've kind of doodled and looked at some stuff online. You can kind of go in and go, oh, yeah, that's right. I wanted to try this out. So sometimes we just need a little bit of a reminder of things that we might want to try or things that we've seen. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. You can see I'm starting to bounce around. I always try to stay in one area and get it done, but inevitably I end up moving all around. I can only maintain that for so long. So then I start to bounce around my space a little bit more. One of the things that I do like to do when I'm doodling is as I get more and more building, I start to pay more attention to where I have concentrations of light and dark. So we're looking at values basically. So here we're doing black and white mainly, but once you start getting more details in it, you get a heaviness and a lightness and degrees within. And so that's what we're looking at right here is creating some degrees and looking to see like if I have a lot of dark in one area where it's really heavy, then I might try to balance that with some light. So I'll show you this actually right here is a pretty good example of it. So I've got a lot of dark here. And then this one, there's still a lot going on, but it's a little airier, if that makes sense. A little more air going on. So we're going to just bring this up. And the key is just to relax and have fun. So, what I started to say, I don't know if I finished the thought, but this is a fun project to do things like this in your art journal. If you are somebody that, you know, might have some challenges sitting still occasionally, this can be a great way to. I do stuff like this sometimes when I'm watching shows with my family so that I can sit a little bit longer. Gloria, how are you? It's so great to see you. Thank you for popping in. I know you've done a lot of really cool projects with doodling and different things like that. I always love seeing what you come up with. Okay, so we are gonna just keep plugging along here. Pull some of my ideas. The other thing that I look at is organic shapes versus more geometric. So, organic are like these dots, these little things that are kind of dangling. We've got these squiggles over here. Those are very organic. And then we have here where we have more linear going on. You know, this is very linear here. This is linear or geometric. This is going to be more geometric here. And I really try to take a look as I'm creating to get a nice mix of the two. And you can have like geometrics together and organics together, but sometimes it's nice to throw in the opposite. If you've got a couple geometrics, it's nice to put in some organic shapes. It just gives a nice variation on what you're doing and it gives some really cool visual interest. Now, a lot of this I don't necessarily think about when I'm in doodle mode. So if I'm just doodling to doodle, I'm actually not going to think too much about, oh, am I doing this? Am I not doing this? You know, all that kind of stuff. We're just doodling to have fun. And what can really be great is the more you do this, the more you just automatically will start to go, oh, I need a little more dark here. Like I look at this and I feel like this is getting really light here. So I'm thinking maybe up here, let's do a little, you know, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do some fun squiggles here. And remember, not everything has to be a fancy design. Not everything has to be a, you know, tried and true design that's done a certain way for somebody else's aesthetics. Doing little scribbles like this, one, it can be really, really relaxing and therapeutic, but it also can look really cool. It gives this nice tangled effect, which can be cool. And I'm going to be going through when we're done, and I'm going to be darkening a lot of these in between lines like this. So I don't even worry about it blending in too much because we're going to go through and kind of darken to show a little more of a difference from one piece to the other, from one design to the other, and the same with in between. So just really have fun with these. Now this one, I'm going to do a couple of strands in here. And you can see as we start working, more ideas start to flow. And if you have ideas on something you think I should do in one of these spaces, let me know in the comments if it's something you can describe. I would love to hear. I don't know from descriptions if I'll get it right, but I would love your input if you're like, oh, it'd be really cool if you did, you know, whatever it might be. Because it's fun to collaborate with each other. All right, and then scallops are one of my favorite. I absolutely love doing these little scallops. They remind me of like flower petals and mermaid scales, dragon scales. Like there's so much these can be. But you can see now I'm starting to get a lot of light in here, a lot of airiness. So I'm going to go ahead and do something a little darker in this one. If you curve your lines a little bit, here's another little tip. If you curve your lines a little bit, you get a really cool visual effect of the whole thing kind of twisting, which can be really fun. So instead of it being straight up and down, it looks like it's kind of bending a little bit. This can be also fun for those of you that do like art girls or mixed media girls doing designs like this on leggings or on dresses or sleeves can be really cool. And if you do any whimsical flowers, doing something like this on the stems can be really fun in a garden setting. All right, and then I also want a little bit more darkness here. So I'm going to put in some circles. We're going to fill these in. So I would love to hear. I'm going to make a assumption that if you're watching this, because it is a Halloween themed one, that you probably might enjoy some of the Halloween stuff, the festivities this time of year. So I would love to hear in the comments, what are your favorite movies to watch this time of year? Um, do you have scary movies you like to watch, or are there more family friendly ones, or kind of what do you like to watch? And I will share with you one of my favorite this time of year is we are Hocus Pocus fans. We love Hocus Pocus. And I know it's controversial, but I actually love Hocus Pocus 2 also. I love the first one the best. That is my favorite. I'm not going to lie. That is definitely my favorite. But I think there is something to be said about the second one too. I think it was a fun movie. So we love Hocus Pocus. And I also, okay, y'all are going to find out just how cheesy I am, but I love the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin show. That is like one of my all-time favorite. And a friend of mine knows that. One of my best friends knows that. And I got a present from the Great Pumpkin this year. It came a little early because it was something that I was really excited about. And it was so much fun that the Great Pumpkin sent it to me. So if anybody is doubting whether the Great Pumpkin is real or not, they definitely are. But I'd love to hear yours. I know my oldest daughter she loves the horror movies. I can't. I just can't with those. But I know a lot of people do. Like it's a thing. Absolutely love them. Now you can see I had just lines over here, and now I've decided that I wanted it to be a little different. And that's the fun part about doodling like this. Like you can get going, and then you can change it up as you go. You can go, oh, you know what? I want to add something to that, or I don't like that. The other thing, like I said earlier, now that I'm getting some design in here, y'all, can you imagine making photocopies of this and then using it as a coloring page? How cool would that be? Or just color right in your art journal. You could totally color in what you've made, what you've doodled. So yeah, Cindy, I'm with you. I do not like the scary movies. Oh, I watched enough of those years ago with my dad. Yeah, I can't do them. Oh, love the Great Pumpkin. You too, Gloria. Yay. Oh my gosh, Gloria, if you haven't watched it in years, it's a fun one. It is fun. I highly recommend it. We had such a good time at the Mickey's Halloween party last night. They do a big Hocus Pocus show with all the villains in front of the castle. And we caught it at the end of the night. And oh my gosh, we were having so much fun. My 13-year-old daughter, who swears she doesn't dance, was going all out with her moves. Like she was, I don't know, it was great to watch. She was like, yes. And she started dancing and it was just like having the time of her life. It was so cool to see her having such a good time with that. But the music is so much fun. And the movie itself is just so cute. I love Bette Midler in that. Oh, and Sarah Jessica Parker, and I feel so bad. I can't remember the other actress's name, but she is so good. I've seen her in a few other things too. Um, but Bimini, if somebody knows, let me know in the comments because I feel Kathy something, I think. But anyway, she is brilliant too. They are just so good together. They crack me up. So we're just adding in some more. And actually, I have a different idea. Nope. I'm going to stick with what I started with. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl, hello. Cheryl's one of my painting buddies. She is wintering near me right now. So we are going to be getting together hopefully soon to do some art and eat and just hang out. Y'all, there's nothing like art friends, right? I hope that you all have art friends. If not, let me know and I'll be your art friend. I love having art friends because they are the coolest people and they're so much fun. And it's like these are the people that just get us, you know? Don't want to say we're odd, but we might have our own way of going through life, right? We have our own way of doing things. And it's just really cool when you find the people who really get you. If you're not part of my mixed media art journaling group, it is a free group that I do. It's got art journaling in it and some other art projects. And it is just a really great community of other artists, other like minded creatives who are so supportive and loving to each other. And if you're not part of it and you would like to be, just let me know in the comments and I will get you a link for it after we're done here because I think that you would really enjoy being part of it. We do different tutorials and different projects and stuff. Sorry, I was like talking and then I lost my train of thought because I started doodling more. And you can see all I'm doing here, if you really break down what I'm doing, is I am creating repetitive, simple, repetitive movements that are designs that are based on very simple shapes. So almost everything, if you look, we've got circles, we've got triangles, we've got dots, we've got lines, we've got squiggles, we've got curves. And that is most of what we have in here. And then we're just putting them together, So there's a lot of different things you can do using just basic shapes. So I really encourage you to just enjoy the process and relax. And don't worry if you get it right or wrong. I mean, I could sit right now and tell you all the things that I have not done right in this right now. But hopefully when you look at it, you go, oh, wow, that's really cool. Because when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing every little dot and squiggle I've done. Like I see it all. But when somebody else comes to look at our artwork, not just mine, but yours also, when somebody else comes to look at it, they're not looking at a specific piece of it or a specific point. They're looking at the whole thing and they're like, oh, wow, that's really cool. So I encourage you to play around in your art journal a little bit. If you don't have an art journal, I highly recommend it, especially if you like doing a lot of classes or a lot of different videos on art, or you like learning new things. Because often when we teach, I know I do this as well when I'm teaching projects, I often will teach on a canvas. I'm like, oh, this is a great canvas, right? You can hang this on your wall. But there's only so many canvases we can paint. And when we have a canvas, it is like a commitment. And then we sometimes get a little wrapped up around getting it just right and perfect. Where our art journal is where we can go and try things out before we put it on a canvas. So I take a lot of art classes, just like I'm sure you all do. I teach, but part of how I keep my energy going teaching and keep my ideas flowing is I am constantly learning and trying new things that other people are teaching. And I often do not do them on the substrate that people are showing you. Is the fancy word for like the canvas. Okay, canvas, paper, cloth, whatever. So I will watch what they're doing and I will actually do it in my art journal the first time. So I can focus on the technique, I can focus on the learning, and I'm not worrying about how it turns out because it's my art journal. It's for me, right? This is my playground here. And then if I like it and it's something I want to hang on my wall, great. Then I'll go and paint it again on a canvas or a board or whatever. So this can be a great place to keep all of your stuff. It can be great to look back and see the progress you've made, or to use it to come up with new ideas. I know that I'm here to show you this tonight, but I am a big fan of art journals. As I said at the beginning, it's kind of my thing. And I really love encouraging other artists, especially if you've not kept one before, to do it. Everybody that has ever started one after I've been like, you have to do it. It's the best thing ever. Every artist that has ever done one after I've convinced them to try it has been like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. It's pretty amazing. Oh, Gloria, yay. You're my art friend too. I always love it when you pop on. Thank you so much for all your support. You are always there to cheer me on. And I love seeing the art that you create from the tutorials that I do. Yeah, so journaling, I hear you on that. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know how to journal, or I don't know what to do, or whatever. This is kind of what I do, like I work out ideas, sometimes I'll do my tutorials. This was one I did recently. This was a class I taught. This was just something I was playing around with some technique. It's not anything. I was just playing around. Like some of the stuff is finished, some of it isn't. Some pages never get done. A lot of it is just playing and exploring. And it's a great way to do that in your journal. Okay, I need to focus on what I'm doing here. Sorry, I got talking. I told you, I'm a talker. All right, so I'm just doing lines, circles, squiggles, filling in. That's it. Easy peasy. We don't have to overthink this at all. We're just playing. I'm not going to fill this whole thing in with you because I feel like maybe you'll be like, wow, I'm done. But I am going to share this with you. I should be finishing this up probably tonight. I'll probably sit and watch. I'm kind of obsessed with the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina right now. It is absolutely a dark show that will for sure not be for everyone. But I'm enjoying it. So I will probably be watching that and finishing up my spider web. But I wanted to get you going so you could kind of get a feel for what we're doing here. We're just going to fill in the spaces, and you don't have to do all of them. I will, because that's kind of my thing. I'm still learning how to leave white space. I like a lot. I'm the same in my life. I'm like, more is better. So I'm trying to learn how to pull back a little bit, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to happen in this, because I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to fill this baby up and it's going to be awesome. Let's see. Oh, you did the doodle pumpkin. Yes, wasn't that fun? I love the doodle pumpkin. I actually was thinking about doing that again tonight. And then I was like, no, I need to do something else. And I was like, oh, let's do a spider web. That will be so cool. Um, and it's okay if you don't finish. It's one of the things with your art journal. Not everything has to be finished. And honestly, probably not everything should be. Sometimes we get out of things what we need to get out of them, and we can move on. I used to really stress getting all of the pages filled in my art journal. Like everything, I was like, oh my gosh, it all has to be great and it all has to look good. Because I often will do flip throughs of my journal. And I was like, oh, if I don't have everything filled, people are going to be like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you sharing this? But I have learned over the years that that's just not true. Like the art journal is what it is. And it's for me. If I choose to share it, it's because I really want to let you see inside. And part of seeing inside of my world as an artist is not everything is completed. Sometimes things are just, I lose interest or I get what I need out of it and I move on. So if you have something you started that you didn't finish, that's okay. Maybe you didn't need to finish that. It's okay not to finish everything. And if anybody says otherwise, you tell them that I said, nope, you get to finish or not finish as you want. I said so. And see here, I've got a lot of lightness going on. I'm going to leave that for now, but I might change that up a little bit. Cindy, oh, you started a journal working on your brush lettering. That's a great idea. I have a friend of mine that's wanting to learn calligraphy and that. Do you have a recommendation on how she could start learning that? I mean, I have ideas on it, but I don't do the calligraphy slash brush lettering type thing. I kind of just do my own thing. So I would love if you have any ideas on that. I would love to hear that. Oh, you're going to frame your pumpkin, Gloria? Ah, I love that. I would love to see it framed once you get to that point. I bet it is going to look so good. Oh, I love hearing that. That's awesome. Let's see. Let's do this. That's the other thing is not so much with our art journaling, of course, because a lot of that just stays in our art journal. But I also am a big advocate when you make art to hang it on your walls. Because I hear from a lot of people that they don't do that. Like they'll go to different art classes or, painting and relaxing type classes and stuff. But then they don't hang their stuff up. They're like, oh, I'm too embarrassed or it didn't turn out as good. Because, of course, it doesn't look like the teacher's. But I got news for you. I can paint the same painting 3, 4 times in a row for these classes I teach. My paintings don't even look like my paintings. And I'm the one that's teaching it. Because our paintings are going to reflect who we are in that moment. So I really hope that you will, be a little easy on yourself and give yourself a little grace to let your art be what it needs to be in the moment and be willing to share that in your home. You can buy the most beautiful artwork pre-done. I know that's like the thing that a lot of people do is to buy the inexpensive art at, the different big box stores or wherever you're buying it from. And it's beautiful. I mean, a lot of it is replicas of actual artwork and that's great. But there is an energy that happens when you hang up a painting, a picture that you've done and you've created. There is an energy that's infused in your room that you will never ever get from something you bought in the store inexpensive, because that painting has a little bit of you in it. It has your energy. It has who you are in that moment. And that is beautiful. So I really encourage you to hang up the work that you do. I think it's just a really great way to honor you and honor your artwork. Okay, that's my spiel for tonight. I get a little passionate about this stuff sometimes. I've been teaching art for a long time, and it is one of the things that just makes me so sad is when, and I've been there too, so this is not a judgment or criticism on anyone because, I think this is a battle as artists many of us have. Um, but this idea that somehow we think that our art is not good enough. Listen, not everything has to be a master level, hang in a museum quality art for it to count, for it to be beautiful. And I'm telling you, if you made it, it's beautiful. Be proud of it, hang it up, let others enjoy what you've created. Let me add another little swoop in here. All right, I'm gonna just do a couple more, and then I'm gonna add some lettering to this, and I am gonna add a little eight-legged friend because it is a spider web. So it just feels like it's only right that we add a little friend to our spider web. Isn't it fun to see how it starts coming together? Oh, Lolly Doodle Studio. She's wonderful. Yes. Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. I'm so glad that you took a class. That's right. She does the lettering. Yes. Oh, okay. And you really liked her class? Because maybe I will recommend that to my friend. Let me, if you don't mind letting me know in the comment what class you took, I will pass that on because that might be what she likes. I always like to find if it's something I don't do, I am happy to recommend other artists. And I recently met Lolly Doodle, um, but I don't think I realized she was doing the lettering. So I appreciate you reminding me of that. That's amazing. That's awesome. I love when we can all come together and share our art and share, how we're learning and what's working for us. I just think that's so magical. I know I mentioned her earlier, and I will be popping her link in my description when this is done. But if you have not already, go and give Teresa um, a like over on her page. She is the one who has organized all this for us this last month, the 31 days. If you need to see any of the videos from the 31 days of Halloween that I'm collaborating with, that this video tonight is part of, just check out my Inner Journey Studios Facebook page. All of them are there. They're all on my Facebook page. So you can definitely check there. And I know Teresa, can you please pop your Facebook um, link in the comments for me if you don't mind, if you hear this? If not, I'll do it afterwards. Um, but Teresa also has them all on hers. And go give the other artists a like, a follow, check out their videos. When I've posted them on my Facebook page, I've said a little bit about what they are so you kind of have an idea of what the different people are doing. There are so many amazing projects that have come through this month that I don't want you to miss any of them. They are really, really cool. All right, we already did something like this, but I'm going to do it a little different. This one, I'm going to color some of them in. So this is the problem with these is you're like, oh, just one more. They're like, wasn't it Lay's potato chips? You can't eat just one. I feel like that when I'm doing this. I'm like, okay, just one more and then we're going to be done. And then here I am still going. I promise I won't keep you all night. I am so excited to see what you all create from this because whether you do a spider web or a pumpkin or something else, there's so many cool things you can do with the doodling. This would make a great card if you like sending out Halloween cards. You could create this, take a picture of it, and then put that on Halloween cards or postcards to send out. And that would be really cool too. So just to show you how simple this stuff is, this design is the same as, I know I did this already. Let me see, where did it? Oh, as this one. This one and this one are exactly the same. The difference is this I darkened the zigzag line, and this I colored in one side of the zigzag and put dots in the other. So that's what I'm saying when I say that this can be so relaxing and so easy to do. Like, you can literally just do, I want to say that you want to do the same things over and over again, but you know, you can, like, here I have a squiggle here and then I did a squiggle with a line through it. Like, not everything has to be big and fancy, right? We can do the same things in different ways. Or you can challenge yourself and do completely different ones in everything. That's the beauty of it, is like you get to decide. And I'm telling you, if you go and look up doodles online, you will find like literally hundreds of these. They are all over the place. There's so many ideas out there for doodling. Some of my favorite are the henna designs. I do love the henna designs. Okay, fill it up as much as you want. I'm going to stop where we are right now. I'm going to go ahead and let me see, which marker do I want to use? I'm going to use a little wider marker. Let me see if this is working tonight. It was not working earlier. Yeah, this is done. Let's get rid of that one. All right, I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm just going to go right along my main lines. You don't have to do this, but I like to create the definition between these lines because I think that it really helps to give a little bit more of a definition. So you really start to get more movement in between them when you have this more solid line. Oh, Chloe, go lay down, baby. Go lay down. Come here. Yes. Did you hear her tail? She's like going to town over here. Yes, we're trying to relax and you are not helping. Yes, I see you. All right. Come here. Come here. Do you want to say hi? I think she hears the cat. She gets so, we have two cats also. Okay, it is really hard to draw when you are jumping at me, dog. She gets so jealous of the cats, and I think she hears them outside my door. And not that they would ever, but I think maybe sometimes they taunt her. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying. If you have dogs and cats, let me know if you ever have that happen. Do they taunt each other at all? I feel like they're like siblings sometimes. Now, for doing the lines inside, some of them I will do with the heavier marker, and I will create them a little heavier. And some of them I'm going to do with my lighter marker. So I'm going to have some that are heavy like that, but then I'm also going to take my uniball and do some of them where it's just, I'm going to darken the line that's there, but not necessarily, you don't necessarily want it dark, dark. Heavy, maybe not dark, heavy. So we want to work with a lightness and a heaviness of lines. So see, that's a little not quite as intense. Now these, because I really could use some more darkness here, I'm going to go ahead and make these a little heavier. But then down here, I'm going to do this one a little lighter. And there's no like formula for where to do which one. I'm just trying to get some variances, some differences, so it's not all really heavy or all really light. So that's something I will finish the rest of that later as well. I'll post a picture once this is all done. But the last two things that I want to show you is let's do our spider. And I'm just going to hang my spider right off of here. And I'm going to make the body kind of roundish. Now, I want 8 legs, so I'm going to come up and I'm going to start my legs in a V shape. Let me bring this down just a little closer. Hopefully you can see this okay. Let me move this. All right, I'm hoping maybe that's a little closer for you to see a little better. All right, so now I'm just going to pop my leg down. It's almost like an M, right? And then my next one, I'm going to cross over. And I'm going to just bring it down. See how cute he's looking? Look at that. All right. And then I'm going to just bring 2 more. And then do my last one here. And now that just kind of gives a nice little realism. Not realism. I guess, like, who are we kidding? It's not a realistic spider, but it just gives a little something something. Now I'm leaving it because I'm doing this all black and white. I am not actually going to, oops, let me pull this up a little bit. Sorry. There we go. Should have warned you, you might need Dramamine for this tonight, huh? All that movement. Because I'm doing this as a black and white picture right now, I'm not going to worry about putting any details, but you could totally put like white highlights on this guy or put little eyeballs if you wanted or put a red mark. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just leave him as is, just as kind of a cute little spider hanging out. This is his web. The other thing that I wanted to do on this is I am going to put Happy Halloween. I love in my journal, here's another art journal tip, right? I love practicing my lettering. So Cindy, kind of to what you're talking about, right? I don't do any formal lettering. I don't do calligraphy or brush lettering or anything formal, but I do like to put my own handwriting into my artwork. And so part of the way that I do that is I practice in my art journal. It may or may not turn out good, but I don't worry about it because it's in my art journal. I'm just practicing, I'm just playing. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to start with the word Halloween. Now I'm going to do it. Oh, actually, I'm going to do it here because let me tell you my reasoning. I was going to do it over here, but I just realized I've got my little spider here. So I'm going to put it up here to kind of create some balance in my composition. So we're going to put it up here. I'm going to start with the word Halloween. Now this is dry. I don't have to worry about this. So I'm okay putting my hand on it. But if you have concerns, you can, I don't have a piece of paper laying nearby, which is surprising given everything laying nearby. But you can put a piece of paper over if you're worrying about smudging anything. Mine is dry, it's permanent marker, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to start right here, just writing Halloween. I'm just doing cursive. In my own handwriting. That's all I did, my own handwriting. Now I'm just going to go through to keep it simple. I'm just going to darken my lines. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not trying to create a specific font. You can do that, and I do that sometimes in my journals where I will try to replicate certain fonts. I'm not going to with this. I'm just going to darken my handwriting of what I already did. With my L's, I often will go on the outside of them. If I go on the inside, I feel like it makes them too small. So that's just a little pro tip for you. And all I'm doing is darkening what's already here. But you can see, I'm going to stop with the W so you can kind of see the difference from the last couple letters coming up. You can see how that really elevates my handwriting by darkening it versus having it just written. Written once. Let me finish that thought. Now, E's, I will often do the same as the L's. I go on the outside of them because I personally have a tendency to make mine a little small, I think. And sometimes I'll add little flourishes, like putting a topper on the A and the N like I did. I'm going to put a little dot there. And this simple way of elevating your handwriting, you can do it in a number of ways. It's a lot of fun. So I did it basically the same thickness all the way through, but you can play around with thin and thick lines, which can make all the difference in how it looks also. Now I did this in a cursive writing. And one of the things that I see a lot in graphic design, I love looking at graphic designs on ads and um, different things in magazine headers and stuff, because these are designers that are being paid money to design things. Presumably, they know what they're doing. So I like to look at what they're doing, and I often see that we'll have all lowercase, like in cursive, but then right above the next word will be either all uppercase in print, or maybe it'll be like the first letter is uppercase and the rest are lower. But I like to look and see what other people are doing and kind of design around that a little bit. So what we are going to do here, just see this, is I'm going to take this space right here to put happy. And I'm going to do mine. I'm going to try it all in capital letters. And you see, this is the fun thing again about art journaling is I can explore that. Now I could totally leave it like this, but I am gonna darken it just a little bit, not as much as what I've done below, because I do still want this to be a little bit of a contrast, but I am gonna just darken it a little bit. Gives a little bit more of the feeling of like block letters. And again, it feels like there's more intention to it. Happy Halloween. How fun is that? All right, my friends, there we have it. Um, our Halloween um, spider web, our doodle spider web, something just fun and relaxing for this time of year. There's a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of busyness going on. And this is a great way to just relax and work on some art and let your mind go and let other ideas flow for other ways that you're creating art. So this can so much transcend into other areas. Me, there I am. Look at, got my ears still. So anyhow, let me move this aside. Thank you so much for being here. This was our spider web that we were working on, our doodle spider web. I'm going to finish at this point. I probably should have finished it all, but I still have a few more to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and doodle those in, and I will share a picture with you all so you can see it. If you are interested in joining my free mixed media art journaling group on Facebook, it's totally free. It's just a fun group. Just let me know in the comments. Just put link, please, and I will get you the link for the group. But other than that, thank you so much for being here. Tag me in your pictures, your art that was inspired by this. Gloria can tell you I love seeing what you guys make. She is always creating something and tags me when she does. And oh my gosh, when I open Facebook and I get those tags that you all have tagged me in, I can't even tell you, like my heart just swells. I get so excited. It's the first thing I will check on my notifications. I'm like, oh, I got to see what they made. Like I check that before I check my family's photos. Don't tell my family that. But truly, like I love your artwork so much. All right, now I've just shared my secret on that. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends. Like and comment on the video. Please like, subscribe, follow whatever channel you are on watching this on. I never remember what we're doing on what social media. So whatever we're doing to be friends, please do that. Thank you for being here. Lots of love to you and happy art making. Bye-bye.